Hi everyone, Jewish soldiers in the Polish Army, the historical findings in Ir David, Jewish jazz musician Danny Zamir, this and more on this week's Israeli Salad. Let's get started. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. Jewish soldiers in the Polish Army. Turns out that for many years there were many. Some were high-ranking officers. Gabi Newman visited a new exhibition in the Menachem Begin Heritage Center and learned a lot about these brave Jews.
Weak, bookish, and pale. A person who does not earn his livelihood by physical labor. This is the stereotypical image of the Jew in the exile. A soldier fighting on the front lines, an officer who stands at the head of a company in the Polish army, does not sound like a typical diaspora Jew. But an exhibit currently being shown at Jerusalem's Begin Center reveals a hidden history of Polish Jewry. It turns out that from the 1600s until the Second World War, 200,000 Jews served in the Polish army and made up no less than 10% of its total fighting force.
And among them were not only private soldiers, but the highest ranking officers. There were generals and lieutenant generals and colonels of the highest rank who participated in some of the major battles of Poland for their independence and for the defense of their independence.
Some of the Jews were awarded medals of honor for bravery shown in battle, and over 40,000 Jews fell fighting for the Polish army. Already in the final years of the 17th century, due to incursions by Tatar invaders, Polish towns organized local militias in which Jews participated. In the town of Chiza, there was even a Jewish platoon with its own flag.
They were very proud to go to the Polish army, because at that time, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, to be able to serve in an army of the quality and the caliber of Poland at that time was a distinction for some young people, and they did it with great devotion.
The picture of the horseman with a drawn sword, which figures prominently in the exhibit, was the property of Baruch Yoselevich, who was appointed head of the Army's equestrian unit in the capacity of general. Prior to that, he established a Jewish legion numbering 500 men. Local Jewish councils encouraged Jews to enlist in the army, and rabbis even made halakhic rulings allowing Jews to work and travel on the Sabbath in order to defend their adopted homeland. In this picture you can see a rabbi swearing Jewish soldiers into the Polish army. In 1921, Poland's rabbinical army unit was established, headed by General Rabbi Dr. Joseph Moses. Even during World War II, many Jews enlisted in the Polish army. The exhibit, which was built by the Jewish Center of Warsaw, was well received in Poland, where it was first shown. It was brought to Israel by the Polish embassy, and at its inauguration here, the Polish president was present. The directors of the exhibit decided to display it at the Begin Center due to the fact that the former Prime Minister, Menachem Begin, was born and raised in Poland and also served in the Polish army. Begin was captured by the Russians at the outset of World War II, and after he was freed, he joined the Free Polish Army. He arrived in Israel as a Polish soldier as part of its Allied war against Germany.
And when he arrived, his friends of the Irgun said to him, resign immediately, leave the army, defect, and go into the underground, and then we will appoint you commander of the Etzel, of Irgun Tzvai Leumi. And he said, I shall only leave the army if there is an honorable discharge. And they made contact with the Polish government in London, and after some time he received his honorable discharge.
Ir David, the city of David. Archaeologists continue to astonish us with new findings from our past that strengthen our connection to the land of Israel and its eternal capital, Jerusalem. Yechezkel Lang reports.
The city of David, a 50-acre plot located just south of Jerusalem's Temple Mount, is the original location of the city of Jerusalem. It is believed to have been built over 3,000 years ago by King David. Being the site of uninterrupted habitation for the past 3,000 years means the city of David is a virtual treasure trove of ancient artifacts and information. Since the area was liberated in the Six-Day War, archaeologists have been uncovering its riches. On September 7th, the city of David held its 7th annual archaeological conference, where the latest archaeological finds of the area were revealed to the public.
This is the apex of three major religions. This is a place where it represents so many things for so many people. A small area, concentrated with finds. We are in a place where it's impossible not to find anything.
At last year's conference, archaeologists announced the discovery of a First Temple 2,600-year-old seal, which bears the name of Yehudi, son of Shelemiah, who is mentioned in the book of Jeremiah. The continual unearthing of ancient Jewish artifacts on the site causes consternation to Israeli Arabs and the Israeli left, who claim that the area is occupied Arab land.
The second major find is behind us, to the bottom of the city of David, the Shiloach pool, which was found mostly by accident when a sewage line burst. But we found a humongous pool, beautifully paved with Jerusalem stone, which was used as both a water source in the Second Temple period, but more importantly, it was used as the major ritual bath, the major mikveh for the large numbers of people that arrived in Jerusalem during the Second Temple period.
Amateur archaeologists and lovers of Jerusalem from all over the country came to take part in the event.
This site has great relevance to textual relations, to the biblical text that is quite unique, quite significant. There are not many cases like in the case of Ir David.
It's incredible to see how the past is being preserved, and we can learn here about the history of the Jewish people. It's very moving. There are fresh discoveries that shine new light on our tours. It's also wonderful to see that so many people are interested in this place. Jerusalem has a warm spot in everyone's heart. You can see here a wide variety of people from all different educational levels and sectors. People like to come here, tour around and learn. There are archaeologists here whose knowledge and understanding is so deep that they can give a perspective that people don't often have access to. It's fascinating to come here and listen to them.
Can you tell us what you expect to find in the coming years?
Expect is a hard thing to say for an archaeologist. In the past experience shows us that what you look for you don't find, and what you find you really look for.
In a country like Israel, where it is said that the national sport is archaeology, who knows what finds the coming year will bring.
And now let's meet another unique musician, Jewish jazz musician, Danny Zamir. Zamir plays modern jazz that draws much from klezmer and from many other musical influences. He was born in Tel Aviv. Since he was a young boy, Zamir was drawn to the sound of the saxophone, and he began studying the instrument at the age of 12. During the past few years, Zamir lived and worked in New York, where he founded the Satlav Jazz Band and recorded 3 albums. It was there in New York that Zamir became closer to Judaism, and today he is observant. In the past year, Zamir has produced 2 albums, The Zamir Sings Pop and Amen.
מוזיקה זה דבר שהוא סך הכל יש בו הרבה מאוד טוהר.
Music is something that has a lot of purity. It's a tool that's very pure for holiness. With music, you can transcend a message that's above words. People come to me and say, wow, and they have a hard time explaining what moved them. I don't say, do this, do that. Nothing practical, but there's something deep that gets into their hearts.
הכוונות שלי בעיקרון הן מאוד רציניות, זה לא איזה משהו בידורי כזה, אלא יש לי ממש כוונה
I have very serious intentions. It's not about entertainment. I want to actually influence the audience and offer a gift, something good. That's why I called the album Amen. I want people to feel like saying Amen after receiving my gift to them.
אתה יכול להשפיע, משפיע ומקבל. יכול להשפיע את כל השפע, אבל אם אין כלי לזה...
In Chassidut we learn that there has to be two sides. You can do whatever you want, but if there's no one on the other side receiving what you're offering, everything vanishes in the air. And so the audience must be a pure tool to receive and connect. And then, when there's an influencer and receiver, then the system works and people say, Amen.
That was Danny Zamir. We'll have more music from Zamir at the end of today's program. Multiple sclerosis is a chronic degenerative disease that often causes severe neural and muscular impairments. When MS becomes more severe, those suffering from the condition need around-the-clock help with much of their daily needs. Kolel Chabad recently opened a $3.5 million rehabilitation center in northern Israel that will house 30 MS patients. Mark Kaplan was there.
This place started off as a private home of a Chabad family that took these people into their own house. They lived in this very special place, and that's how it started. As it started here, we continued here, and from one flat we bought the whole building with the help of Mr. Grabsky, and we turned the whole building into a hostel for needed people. Multiple sclerosis is one of the most hardest diseases people suffer from. It makes the people crippled so they can't use the hands, the legs. They have problem eating, they have problem talking, they need help 24 hours a day in everything they do. All over in Israel there's about 3,000 people that suffer from MS, out of which a few hundred of them are in severe condition. Unfortunately, only 32 of them will be able to come to this place. There are many, many waitings. The ones that are not here are in all kinds of places which are not suitable for them. These people so far had no other place to be in. In all of Israel, there's no place for MS sick people. We are the first and only place in Israel that deals with these people. We built this hostel with the help of, first of all, Kolel Chabad built this place. It was donated by Mr. David Grabsky, a millionaire from Belgium, that took care of this place. We have a full facilities for 32 people that will live in this place. This is their home.
אנחנו באים הנה ואין ברירה. כי בבית כבר קשה לנו
We came here because we have no choice. It's difficult for us to care for ourselves at home, so this is a solution for each of us. We do a lot of baking, painting, ceramics, trips, gardening. All the different things we never did at home, this is like a home. We found it all here.
They get full medical treatment, full nursery treatment, and full occupational treatment, which includes physiotherapy, medical treatment, therapy in art, therapy in ceramics, holistic therapy.
We go out to trips, to canyon, shopping. I like to stay here because there are all the people are very good.
As much as we know today, the sickness can't be cured. The most we can do for these poor people is to give them the best quality of life.
It's been more than a year since the expulsion of Jews from Gush Katif and North Shomron. On Tuesday, September 26th, the expelled residents of northern Shomron held a Remembrance Day commemorating their beloved communities. Much sadness was present at the Remembrance Day for the destroyed Jewish communities of northern Samaria. A modest ceremony was held several weeks ago, but on Tuesday, during the 10 Days of Repentance, the community of Barkan hosted an official ceremony which included a picture exhibition, the screening of documentary movies, a panel discussion by former residents, and a closing ceremony marking the destruction with a laser presentation. At Barkan's Town Council Hall, dozens of former residents gathered. After the hugs and tears, came the time for talk. They told us there was a synagogue which we hadn't known about. Somehow we organized a minyan for Shabbat. Next to the synagogue sat a man on the bench, and the minute we arrived, his eyes lit up. He looked so happy on a Friday evening before Shabbat, and then he says, "My dreams have come true." We didn't understand what he was talking about. Then he told us that every Friday evening he would come to the synagogue for evening prayers, and he would wait for a minyan. And suddenly, a minyan had actually come. Just the smallest thing, it's hard to see. It says here, Mazal Tov on your birthday from Dvash and Tzuf, our children. I don't know if the picture is from before or after the party. It's a reminder of the birthday party we had on the grass outside our house. This grass was planted 9 months after the birth of our daughter Tzuf, so we made a poem about it. The Shomron Regional Council promises to hold a memorial ceremony on this day every year, in the hope that one day it will turn into a celebration marking the return to the communities that were abandoned. Okay, that's all for this week. We'll end with some music by Jewish jazz musician Daniel Dani Zamir. Join us again next week. Until then, from all of us here at INN TV, Arutz Sheva, Shalom and Shana Tova. A good year to everyone.
Yeah!